That right there was the scene that caused the state attorney there in North Carolina to say the shooting was justified. That followed, what followed that was outrage in Elizabeth City, North Carolina. An attorney calling the shooting, again the district attorney there calling the shooting of Andrew Brown justified. This newly released video from the Pasquotank County Sheriff's Office shows Brown trying to escape from police while they were executing a search warrant. Also showed him attempting to run over the officers. The deputies opened fire, killed Brown as he attempted to drive away. Here is the district attorney, Andrew Womble.
Mr. Brown's death, while tragic, was justified because Mr. Brown's actions caused 3 deputies with the Pasquotank County Sheriff's Office to reasonably believe it was necessary to use deadly force to protect themselves and others.
An attorney for the family of Andrew Brown Jr. says the video proves their words that Brown was not using his car as a weapon against the deputies, even though you can clearly see him drive at one of the deputies right there. The family also called the district attorney's decision not to charge the officers both an insult and a slap in the face. Let's bring in now former New York City Police Commissioner Bernard Kerik. He's also a Newsmax contributor. Bernie, great to see you again.
Thanks, John.
You know, it's almost like you can see the pattern play out here. A lot of sizzle. You hear a lot of kind of incendiary comments coming from Benjamin Crump and the other usual suspects around this. Then the facts of the case come out. We get to see the video, and it doesn't justify what Ben Crump and what others are saying. And of course, this story very quickly disappears from a lot of the media here now that the case appears justified.
Yeah, but John, this is like many of the cases. Here's another situation where the suspect, had he not resisted, had he not used his car as a weapon against the cops, he'd still be alive today. All he had to do was get out of the car. You know, we see this consistently over and over and over again where officers attempt to make an arrest. There's resistance, there's assault, there's an attack, there's a response, an escalated response by the cops because they feel their life is in danger. In this case, somebody's trying to run me over with a car. I'm confident I'm going to feel like my life is in danger and I'm going to use deadly force. That's the bottom line. If he hadn't done that, he'd still be alive today.
Now, the Breonna Taylor situation is the rarity when this happens, but you know, you see several officers there in heavy gear. Talk, Bernie, too, about what it takes to get a search warrant to get to that point where you can even go to a house. It's not like they just all decide randomly at the police station, hey, let's go get this guy.
No. Well, here's the deal. One, they have to have probable cause that the guy was engaged in criminal conduct, whether it's drugs or whatever the case may be. They have to go to a judge with the search warrant. The judge and the DA presents that search warrant to a judge. The judge reviews it to ensure that there is probable cause to believe he should be arrested, and a warrant should be issued. A search warrant should be issued, an arrest warrant should be issued. Once the judge does that, he gives it back to the prosecutors. They give it back to the cops. The cops go out to execute the search warrant. In that case, that's what was happening here, just like Breonna Taylor. You know, these are everyday occurrences in this country. What's not an everyday occurrence is that suspects resist arrest. Mm-hmm. Suspects attack the cops. They shoot at the cops. They try to hit them with a car. That's what caused this.
Right. And if you want to survive, don't resist arrest. Don't drive in the direction of a police officer. I want to talk about Ben Crump as well, because he always shows up at one of these shootings. Here he was on CBS in 60 Minutes over the weekend. Take a listen.
When you think about what black people have been suffering for 400 years in America, I would argue that legalized genocide, when you think about how the very laws that are supposed to protect us are being used to kill us.
Legalized genocide, Bernie, but he doesn't talk about what happens every single weekend in Chicago or what's happening in New York City, for example, with the black-on-black violence in those communities.
Well, that is, honestly, John, there's a good word, genocide, the mass slaughter of blacks in Chicago, Atlanta, Baltimore, Minneapolis, Detroit, and I can go on and on. The bottom line is he doesn't care about that. This guy is the legal version of Al Sharpton. That's what he is. And he basically, if you look at every single one of these incidents, Just like Al Sharpton will appear out of nowhere, so does Ben Crump. This is a job for him. This is he's an opportunistic lawyer that has found his niche in life, and his niche is to go out and, jump on these cases for his own personal gain.
Yeah, and you hear some of the same language sometimes, and it's almost as if, and you don't know this for a fact, but when you see the victims' family members, or the suspect's family members, perhaps is a more appropriate term sometimes, saying some of the same things. You also hear the term murderer thrown around a lot before, again, we have the facts in the case. They're accusing police officers of being a murderer. Ben Crump is an officer of the court. That's slander. To call somebody a murderer before they're actually charged with murder, he should know better. Let's also talk too, Bernie, about Black Lives Matter, because Patrisse Cullors, the founder, and you warned me about this a long time ago, about the Marxist elements of this, but she's also facing some controversy. According to the Daily Caller, charity experts say her charities amount to self-dealing and raises ethical questions. Also, Black Lives Matter is now voicing its support for the Palestinian liberation efforts, and they are condemning Israel. We shouldn't be surprised by these two things, that BLM is also a business and that Black Lives Matter, a Marxist organization, is backing Palestinian liberation.
Well, they're actually backing Hamas, which is a terrorist group, and the bottom line is, BLM is a business, and it's not a business for Black lives that matter, because if they were, they'd be in Chicago and Atlanta and Baltimore and these other cities around the country where blacks are being annihilated on a weekly basis by random gunfire, gunfights, you name it. The bottom line is, BLM is a business. It's just like the Black Liberation Army, Black Panther Party back in the 70s and 80s.
Yeah, Bernie Kerik, thanks so much. Great to see you as always.
Thanks, John.
All right, Bernie Kerik for it.
Hey, I'm Rob Finnerty. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please join the conversation in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe, too. Hit the bell icon to be alerted to breaking news. And remember, there's a whole lot more on Newsmax TV, America's fastest growing cable news network. Newsmax TV, we're real news for real people.